Welcome, welcome, welcome to the deep dive. You definitely know that iconic phrase, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the ultimate rallying cry, right? Launches queens into the spotlight, makes them household names. It underpins this huge cultural phenomenon that's given us so much glitz, humor, and honestly heart over the years.
For sure.
But today, we're not just gonna, admire the sparkle on the runway or just look at the final product. We're actually going beyond the cameras, deep behind the scenes. We want to unpack the real work and maybe some of the surprising realities that actually make all that magic happen.
Exactly. We're diving into RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
It's a show that's just synonymous with, like, amazing entertainment, incredible artistry. But underneath all that polish, that vibrant exterior, there's this whole other world. It's got some surprising truths, really intense demands, and honestly, significant personal investments that most viewers, I think, probably never even consider.
Right.
So for this deep dive, we've really dug through a ton of sources, a real mix, candid queen interviews from all over, really insightful behind-the-scenes articles, those lively fan discussions on Reddit.
Oh, yeah. Reddit always has the two.
Always.
Yeah.
And some really sharp analyses of what queens actually earn and, maybe more importantly, what they spend.
Okay, so our mission today for you listening is basically to give you the ultimate shortcut. We want you to be truly well-informed about all those hidden layers of the show.
Yeah.
We're going to pull back the curtain on the illusions, the ones crafted for the screen, and talk about the intense, often really grueling demands on the queens, the strategic editing that shapes and, sometimes twists their stories, and it may be the most surprising part for a lot of people. The fascinating, sometimes just staggering economics behind all that sparkle.
Yeah, I think if you've ever watched an episode and kind of wondered, what really goes on when the cameras stop rolling, or just how much does it cost a queen to even step onto that stage and compete for the crown, well, then you are absolutely in for some major aha moments today.
Definitely.
This deep dive, it's really designed to change how you see one of TV's most beloved, most impactful reality shows.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's unpack this. Let's jump right into that world of illusion. Because Drag Race, at its heart, it is about creating a fantasy, isn't it?
Totally, it is.
But it turns out even some of the things designed for the show to kind of enhance that fantasy for us, the audience, well, they aren't quite what they seem when you peek behind the curtain.
Right, like take the Untucked Lounge, where the queens supposedly go to decompress, sip cocktails.
Yeah, it looks like a party sometimes.
Exactly. But what looks like, a proper celebratory drink in their hands.
Yeah.
According to sources like The Tab, and queens have talked about this too, it's often just really watered-down cranberry vodka.
Okay.
Or sometimes literally just cranberry juice. And this kind of serves a couple of key purposes, right? Firstly, legally, you got to maintain a controlled environment. You can't have contestants getting properly drunk on TV.
True.
And secondly, it kind of helps create that relaxed, maybe slightly tipsy vibe the production wants, but without any of the actual risks. It adds to the illusion of them unwinding, but yeah, it's not exactly a wild backstage party.
That's such a subtle thing, but really effective for keeping that on-screen mystique. And speaking of subtle details that create an illusion, what about the workroom itself, those big clocks on the wall?
Yeah, the clocks.
You'd think they're there to help the queens manage their time during challenges.
Right, and that's exactly what they're for the audience. They're a visual cue for us, so we understand time is passing. But for the queens, those clocks, they don't actually work.
No way.
Nope, purely props. Instead, the crew actually gives them verbal time checks, like you have 1 hour left.
Wow, so it's another layer of control.
Exactly. It means production keeps total control over the timing, making sure tasks fit the schedule, maybe even adding to the pressure, because the queens don't have their own visual reference for how fast time is going. Yeah, it's a classic reality TV move.
So they're constantly relying on the crew, which just reinforces that feeling of being totally immersed in this, constructed world.
Yeah.
And speaking of constructed reality, okay, this is where it gets really interesting and kind of high stakes. The crowning.
Oh, the crowning moment.
That super emotional moment. Ru dramatically announces the winner. She bursts into tears. Pure joy, disbelief, gets the crown.
That reaction, as totally convincing as it always looks, it's actually a performance.
It has to be, right? Because of the leaks.
Exactly. This started way back season 3 after Perez Hilton leaked the winner before the finale aired. Huge spoiler.
I remember that.
So to stop that ever happening again, production now films every single finalist winning. They film each one accepting the crown.
So wait, the queen who actually wins? She finds out she won at the exact same time we do, watching at home.
Precisely. That look of shock and tears. It's real in the sense that they're finally finding out, but the acceptance speech itself, the immediate reaction they film on stage, that's delivered before they know the real outcome.
Okay, just imagine the pressure of that. You've poured weeks of your life, maybe tens of thousands of dollars into this.
Of everything.
You're right there, about to find out if your dream came true, and you have to deliver this, like, Oscar-worthy acceptance, genuine-looking tears, the whole thing.
For a win you might not have even gotten.
Exactly. That takes serious charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent right there just to pull off that illusion. It's incredible acting, knowing you have to give that reaction while you're still totally in the dark.
It really speaks volumes about the level of performance they expect, even when the outcome is totally unknown. And this kind of leads us right to the core of it all, these illusions. They're just a tiny peek into the unseen struggle, the really grueling hours these queens put in.
Yeah, because we see it air over, what, 12, 14 weeks?
Right. But the filming schedule, it's nothing like that. It's astonishingly compressed.
How long are we talking?
A whole season is typically filmed in this intense, relentless burst of about 4 weeks. Sometimes it stretches to maybe 6, but usually 4.
4 weeks for an entire season. Wow.
Yeah, and within that tiny time frame, each episode you see, which feels like a whole week of stuff happening, that's actually shot over just 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Often 2 full, really demanding days per episode.
It's insane. So the hours must be brutal.
Absolutely brutal. Mornings start super early, like 5:30 a.m. week after week. You're looking at 12, even 14-hour workdays, back to back. Just imagine the stamina required for that.
Non-stop.
Constantly moving, challenge, runway, judging, confessionals. Barely any time to just sit and breathe.
Simone, the winner of season 13, she had that quote that really stuck with me. She said, literally, the minute we get on set and we're filming, it's go, go, go. There's really no time to sit and chill.
Exactly. And then you factor in the weight of expectation. They're not just tired. They're constantly on. They have to perform, even when they're absolutely exhausted.
Which probably explains some of the drama we see.
Or for sure. It makes perfect sense why you see those big beefs blow up. It's this intense pressure cooker. Fatigue, stress, small things become huge confrontations.
Yeah, I can see that.
Absolutely. The
Yep.
pace, the high stakes, the constant scrutiny. It's just a recipe for tension, for emotions running high. But it's not just the hours. It's also the isolation that really cranks up the stress.
Right, the isolation factor. They're basically, what was the phrase, stolen from society.
Yeah, vividly put, right. They house them in separate hotel rooms, strictly forbidden from interacting off camera.
And the tape on the doors. Is that real?
Apparently so. Producers put tape over their doors as this kind of silent check to see if anyone's broken the rules, tried to visit another queen. It's about total immersion and total control.
Wow. So no phones, no computers, no family visits, nothing.
Nothing. Cut off completely from the outside world. Trixie Mattel had that dark but kind of funny story about telling Kim Chi her grandma died, just to explain why she suddenly disappeared from their off-camera life.
Oh my God. That shows how deep the secrecy goes.
It really does. And Brooklyn Heights from season 11, she talked really openly about the emotional toll, how lonely it felt, missing family, friends, partners, even her cats.
Wow.
You're completely cut off from your support system. All that emotional energy just gets funneled back into the competition, making it even more intense.
And then there's the hard ice rule on top of that.
Yeah, the hard ice rule. This means queens are explicitly told, do not talk about the competition, don't talk about storylines when the cameras aren't rolling.
So PAs are listening in?
Production assistants, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actively monitoring conversations, making sure that talent to talk only happens when production allows it.
That's such a contrast to the personalities we see on screen, always chatting and kikiing.
Exactly. Suddenly, during downtime, they're forced into silence. Or they can only talk about really superficial stuff, nothing related to the game.
Why do they do that? Just to save the good stuff for the cameras?
Pretty much. It's a deliberate strategy. Ensure all the raw emotion, the strategy talk, the drama, it all happens on camera where it makes for better TV.
Man, that takes serious mental discipline. Holding it all in until the red light's on.
It really does. And let's not forget the physical toll.
Oh God, yeah. Being in drag for that long.
Full drag. We're talking tucked heels, wigs, cinched waists, heavy makeup for 11 or 12 hours a day.
That's almost half the day. In often really uncomfortable gear.
It's a huge physical strain, day in, day out. And beyond the glamour, there are the less glamorous bits they don't show.
Like what?
Well, Trixie Mattel has kind of alluded to it. Basically, sometimes pee happens.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because you're in drag for so long, maybe can't easily get to a bathroom or don't have time for a proper break. Imagine that discomfort trying to serve a look while dealing with that.
It's a whole other level of endurance, physical and mental.
Totally. And Trixie also mentioned something else important. A lot of reality TV production is actually just waiting.
Waiting around?
Yeah. So picture this. You're in full drag, exhausted, maybe emotionally drained after a tough critique or seeing someone go home. And then you spend ages just sitting there in silence, often, waiting for cues, waiting for the next setup, waiting for the eliminated queen to pack her stuff.
Ugh, especially when you can't even properly talk to the other queens because of the hard ice rule.
Exactly. It's not relaxing downtime. It's this prolonged test of just enduring on every single level.
Okay, so we've covered the grueling side, the physical and mental demands, the illusions, but now let's pull the curtain back even further. Let's talk about the invisible architects. Production, editing, and RuPaul's own role.
Right, because, look, Drag Race is undeniably huge for queer representation. A cornerstone, really.
Absolutely.
But at its core,
Yeah.
it's still a heavily manipulated reality TV show.
That's the key thing to remember, isn't it?
It's crucial.
Yeah.
Often viewers kind of forget that because they get so swept up, the stories we see. They aren't just things that happen organically on camera. They are meticulously crafted.
Meaning producers can influence things.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Producers are known to favor certain queens, maybe give them edits that highlight their strengths, set them up for success and challenges.
And the flip side.
And conversely, yeah, they can set others up to fail through editing choices, through maybe subtle interventions, through shaping a narrative. And this can have really profound, lasting effects on a queen's career and mental health long after the show's over.
The power of the edit is terrifying, really. I remember Faye O'Hara talking about feeling let down.
Yeah, from season 4 and All Stars 2. She said context gets cut, things get added to create totally different stories. She felt her answers to producer questions were twisted into this, like, villainous diatribe against Alyssa Edwards.
That's a perfect example of how editing can just create a character that the person doesn't even recognize.
It's heartbreaking. And maybe one of the most talked about examples is Max from season 7.
Oh, the singing. Yeah.
Right. So apparently, Rue asked Max to sing to help her through a panic attack on set. A moment of empathy, right?
Yeah.
But that interaction, edited out completely. What we saw was just Max suddenly bursting into song, seemingly out of nowhere, made her look, as Max put it, demented and crazy.
That's awful.
And Max has been really clear that this edit seriously damaged her career, her mental health, led her to basically step away from the Drag Race world. It shows the real human cost of manipulating narratives for TV.
Just devastating. And the interventions aren't always just in the edit, right? Sometimes it's more direct.
Seems like it. There are quite a few stories from queens about producers influencing things during the competition itself.
Like what?
Well, Rome, for example, reportedly told her Medusa Runway wasn't queen enough, which allegedly led her to scramble into a backup outfit right before she was eliminated.
So, suggesting they might push queens towards choices that fit a storyline?
It definitely suggests a very active hand behind the scenes. Another one, Lanisha Sparks, from season 5, allegedly told to do Celia Cruz for Snatch Game, like 10 minutes before going on stage.
10 minutes? For Snatch Game, that's sabotage.
The pressure would be insane, could easily wreck a performance. Then you hear about Gottmik's ball look being called garbage by producers, or Mayhem Miller getting a mean note during season 10 to mess with her head.
Wow. And that shady letter to Kenya Michaels after she's eliminated in season 4, that felt like pure producer meddling to stir drama.
Yeah, many fans clock that as producer shenanigans. These aren't just isolated whispers. They suggest a pattern of, psychological tactics, subtle manipulations to get the reactions or outcomes they want for the show.
It really makes you question how much is real competition versus orchestrated drama.
It does, and it apparently goes right up to the finale. There was that rumor about the All-Stars 8 finale lip-sync song.
What was that?
Supposedly, the initial plan was Milkshake by Kalis, which is arguably much more in Jimbo's style than Candy Muse's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Candy reportedly fought hard against it, feeling it would unfairly disadvantage her. If true, that shows producers might try to influence even the final outcome.
That is fascinating. Means even the climax is potentially being shaped. And, okay, on a more practical note, but still revealing, the confessionals. Why do they wear the same outfit for weeks?
Yes. the confessional look. It's all about editing flexibility.
Makes sense.
By having them in the same outfit, editors can slot their commentary, their reactions, their sound bites anywhere in the timeline without any continuity errors. It gives them maximum freedom to build the story they want.
So it's purely functional.
Totally. Brooklyn Heights talked about having this cute motorcycle jacket planned for her interviews, but she had to swap it for a horrible red hoodie because the jacket made too much noise for the mics.
Huh. See? Every little detail is controlled for the final product, even if it means sacrificing the queen's look.
Exactly. It just changes how you see those segments, doesn't it? It's not style, it's production necessity.
Totally. Okay, let's shift focus a bit to RuPaul herself. We call her Mama Ru. She often seems like this compassionate mentor.
Right, that's the image.
But behind the scenes, the reality is apparently quite different, much more professional, strict.
Very much so. Pearl from season 7 had that famous story, called it a heartbreaking moment. Ru apparently told her flat out that nothing she said mattered unless that camera is rolling.
Oof, that's blunt.
Super blunt. But it perfectly illustrates the boundary Ru maintains. Brooklyn Heights confirmed it too, said Ru doesn't really chum it up with the contestants off camera.
Why, though? Just to keep things professional.
That seems to be the main reason. To maintain that necessary separation from the judge and the contestants, it preserves the genuine, spontaneous reactions for TV. It's pragmatic for reality TV, but yeah, it can feel pretty cold if you're a queen looking for connection during a stressful time.
It really underlines the sort of transactional nature of it all. The interactions are primarily for the camera.
Exactly. And think about Ru's reactions during the lipstick reveals, looking so intently, reacting dramatically.
Yeah.
Queens have said those reactions can seem kind of robotic because she often can't actually see the lipstick name clearly from where she's standing.
So she's reacting to what? A cue?
Probably reacting to the idea of it, or a cue from production, performing the drama for the cameras, essentially.
Another layer of the illusion.
Wow.
And it's not just on set, right? There have been moments where Ru seems to forget past contestants.
That's happened. Even winners. Fans were pretty stunned at DragCon 2022 when she seemed to blank on Jinx Monsoon, the reigning queen of all queens at the time.
Ouch.
Right.
Yeah.
It might just be a memory slip, fair enough.
Yeah.
But for fans who are so invested in the show's history and the queens, it feels a bit shady. Raises questions about how engaged she really is with the legacy.
And we should also acknowledge some of the show's past controversies reflecting its own evolution, like the whole she-male thing.
Oh yeah, you've got she-male.
Yeah.
That was the intro segment for years.
Initially maybe just a pun, but it became really problematic.
Definitely. It was widely criticized, especially as the show grew, for using what many consider a transphobic slur.
But they did change it, right?
They did. To their credit, the show listened.
Yeah.
They removed it after season 6, replaced it with more inclusive phrasing. It was a really important step, showed they were responding to the community and evolving their understanding of language.
That evolution is key. Shows a willingness to learn. But, okay, we've talked a lot about the tough stuff, the manipulations. Let's give some credit where it's due. The crew.
Oh, absolutely. Because despite all the pressure and the strategies, there seems to be a real sense of camaraderie, even family, behind the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, the camera crew especially often stays the same, season after season. Creates this tight-knit group that RuPaul apparently really values. She's known for knowing everyone's name, from camera ops to PAs.
That's nice to hear. Fosters respect.
Definitely helps keep things functional, even in a demanding environment. And a huge shout-out has to go to the PAs, the production assistants.
Santa's little helpers, as Trixie calls them.
Exactly. They do everything. Taking queens to the bathroom, quick fixes on falling apart dresses, handing out tissues during emotional moments. They're the absolute backbone, making sure things run smoothly behind the chaos.
Unsung heroes, for sure.
Totally. And speaking of ingenuity, think about the sound engineers trying to mic a drag queen.
Oh my God, yeah. Sequins, feathers, latex, metal, huge wigs. How do they even do it?
It requires serious creativity. Trixie told a story about having to cut a hole in her wig just to feed the mic pack through for some red latex runway look.
Ah, amazing.
That kind of problem solving happens constantly. Shows the crew's dedication to making the queens look and sound perfect despite the challenges of drag.
Okay, so from invisible mics to visible gowns. We've covered a lot of the behind-the-scenes reality, but now let's talk money. The cold, hard cash.
Yep. The financial investment queens make and what they hope to get back.
Because people say losing is the new winning, but the truth is competing often means spending. Well, a lot.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Often. Just to get in the door, basically.
Yeah.
And with no guarantee of winning anything back.
What are they spending it on? The outfits, mainly.
Primarily, yeah. They need this whole package, right? Custom clothes, shoes, wigs, tons of makeup, maybe prosthetics, accessories, just to be competitive. The cost varies a lot, depends on their connections, but it's always substantial. It's not just about style anymore. It's about meeting the show's own high production standards.
Let's get into some numbers because they really tell the story. Early seasons were maybe less intense financially.
A bit. Like Trixie Mattel reportedly spent around $600 for season 7. Kim Chi, maybe $1,500 for season 8. Raja O'Hara, incredibly, spent about $4,100 total across 3 seasons. She really knows how to make a dollar stretch.
Wow, $600. Seems impossible now.
Totally impossible now. Because the costs just escalated massively as the show got bigger, expectations got higher. Sasha Velour, season 9 winner, spent $4,000. Aquaria, season 10, about $5,000, though she had talented friends helping out.
Like, it's still relatively modest compared to later seasons.
Right. Bob the Drag Queen, $6,000 for season 8. Evie, oddly, even though people called her looks trash, she invested $14,000 for season 11 and won. Proved investment can pay off.
But then it really ramps up, especially for All-Stars. Right?
Dramatically. My Heart spent $20,000 for All-Stars for money she said she absolutely couldn't have afforded for season 10.
Wow.
Trudy the Tuck, co-winner, also $20,000. Gottmik, first time out on season 13, brought what people called an All-Stars level package, $20,000. Set a whole new bar.
And internationally, same deal.
Pretty much. Blue Hydrangea, $26,050 for UK versus the World. Tia Kofi, over $25,000 for the next UK versus the World. But maybe the most eye-opening is Heidi Ann Closet.
Oh, yeah, what was her story?
Spent maybe $4,000 for season 12. But for All Stars 8, she committed $40,000 just on looks.
$40,000.
And on top of that, she said she canceled $60,000 worth of gigs to do the show. So her total commitment was closer to $100,000.
Oh my God, why so much?
Her reason was really clear and kind of heartbreaking. She said she refused to be in the bottom again because of her clothes. She was investing to avoid critique.
That is. Wow, that's more than the prize money sometimes.
Exactly. Kahana Montrese, also on AS8, confirmed she spent the same $40,000. Isis Couture for Canada versus the World too, around $70,000.
$70,000.
And Mistress Isabel Brooks claimed $100,000 for season 15, though, grain of salt with her, she likes to joke.
Still, the numbers are undeniably huge.
Immense. And it shows this fundamental shift. It's not just CUNT anymore. It's increasingly a competition requiring serious financial backing.
Which brings us to that Michelle Visage comment.
Ah, yeah. That you don't need money to be a fierce queen line.
Fans really pushed back on that, didn't they?
Massively. Because the argument is, realistically, you cannot win Drag Race without it now. Michelle's comment may be well-intentioned. It just feels really out of touch with the reality the show itself has created.
It's like you need significant wealth or amazing designer connections to even be in the running sometimes.
It's become a huge barrier to entry. The dream's still there, but it's a financial mountain for many queens.
It's a real paradox. Someone on Reddit pointed out, Drag Race has these massive production standard sets, costumes, lighting, free makeup sometimes.
Yeah, they do provide some things.
But does that justify putting such a huge financial burden on the queens for their own outfits, especially compared to the prize money? It feels like the queens are subsidizing the show's glamour.
It absolutely highlights a disparity, raises real questions about fairness, accessibility for talented queens who just don't have those kinds of funds.
Okay, so let's talk rewards. Because there is prize money, and it has gone up.
Thankfully, yes, it has evolved. Maxi Challenge wins are usually $5,000 on the main show, $10,000 on All Stars. Mini challenges get you $2,500.
And the grand prize started lower, right?
It hit $100,000 around season 4, then jumped to $150,000 for season 14 with Willow Pill, and then $200,000 for All Star 7 with Jinx, which seems to be the new standard for the main U.S. seasons now, 15 through 17.
$200,000 is significant, but has it kept pace with the rising costs?
That's the debate. It's way better than it was, but maybe still lagging behind how much queens are now expected to spend.
And international seasons vary.
A big time. UK seasons often have no cash prize because of BBC rules, though the production company WRW did pay out for UK versus the World, about $62K. Canada gives $100,000 Canadian, which is importantly untaxed.
Oh, untaxed. That makes a difference.
It can make a big difference to the take-home amount compared to the U.S. prize after taxes.
And queens get paid per episode too, right? Appearance fees?
They do. Detox and Monet mentioned getting around $400 an episode for earlier seasons like 5, 10, AS2.
$400, that's not much.
Not much at all, considering. But it did jump. By All-Stars 4, it was reportedly $2,000 an episode, and All-Stars 8, being non-elimination, apparently included a $50,000 runway package and a $25,000 appearance fee.
Okay, so the show is investing more in looks sometimes, especially for returning queens.
Yeah, there seems to be some acknowledgement of the burden, at least for certain seasons and formats. But still, for many, especially early outs, those fees don't come close to covering the costs.
But looking at total earnings from the show, some queens have made serious bank.
Oh, yeah. Jinx Monsoon's the top earner, pulling in $332,500 from her Season 5 win and All-Stars 7.
Wow. Who else is up there?
Ginger Minj is close, around $291,000 across her runs. Alyssa Edwards and Jimbo are tied at $230,000. Then you've got Anya Nerve, Sasha Colby, Nymphia Wind, Willow Pill, Shea Coulee, all over $150K, some over $200K.
So for a select few, it can be incredibly lucrative directly from the show.
For sure. But, and this is the big but you always hear.
The exposure.
The exposure. Many queens, many fans argue the real prize isn't the cash. It's the platform. The show provides this massive, unparalleled launchpad.
Leading to gigs, tours.
Huge international tours like Work the World, merch, media deals. It really can set up a career. That's different from a lot of reality shows where people just go back to their normal lives. For Drag Race queens, it's often just the beginning.
It truly is the real prize in many ways. But that debate still exists. Is it enough, given the show's success?
Exactly. Fans argue passionately online. The prize money isn't enough, especially compared to the show's revenue. Or RuPaul's reported $1 million per episode salary.
What are they suggesting?
You see figures thrown around like a $500K prize, maybe a $20K stipend for all queens for their package, $10 per episode appearance fee, things that feel more equitable.
Yeah, paying them more like valued talent, considering the risks and investment.
Right. And the argument extends to sponsors. Brands like Cash App fund the prize. Cosmetics companies advertise heavily. They profit massively. Should more of that filter down to the queens?
Fans also make comparisons to things like esports, right?
Yeah, pointing out that top gamers can win prize pools of $500,000 or more in a single tournament. Why, they ask, are drag queens on a global hit show compensated less?
It highlights that perceived gap. But there's also the business side.
There is. Reality TV is generally cheaper to make than scripted shows. And Drag Race's longevity, its global spread, is partly because it's relatively cost-effective.
It's not actually a huge ratings giant, is it, despite its cultural impact?
Not on the scale of something like Survivor, no. Averages maybe 600,000 viewers an episode, typically. Season 13 premiere did hit 1 million across multiple channels, which was big for them. But generally, it's a dedicated, passionate audience rather than a massive mainstream one.
So that financial model, being cost-effective, allows for more Drag Race, more opportunities.
Exactly. But it also means budgets are tight elsewhere. It's this constant balancing act, investing in the show's look and feel versus compensating the talent at a level that feels fair, especially given what the queens themselves put on the line financially. That tension is really at the heart of the show's economics.
Wow. So we've really taken a journey today, haven't we? Way beyond just the runway looks and the catchphrases. We've seen the polished spectacle, but we've also dug into the hidden pressures, the production strategies, those huge financial commitments queens make. It's this whole complex world built on talent, sure, but also on these intricate, unseen mechanics.
Yeah, this deep dive, hopefully it's given you a much more multifaceted view, helping you understand not just what happens, but maybe why it happens the way it does.
Right.
We've pulled together perspectives from queens, from fans, from industry watchers. It's just a powerful reminder, I think, that even the most glamorous entertainment has these really complex layers underneath, often demanding huge sacrifices from the people bringing it to life.
So it leaves us with this kind of provocative thought to mull over. When you consider everything, the huge personal costs, the demanding environment, the tough realities of TV production, the editing, does that Drag Race crown still shine quite as brightly for you? Or is the real victory maybe found somewhere else? In the journey itself, tough as it is, the platform it gives them, the community they build, what stands out most to you after hearing all this?